Refi Mota Kwame Ejakwe Champono and a Ogusolidi production team Sansona right ala fella menyo and a Bernard Paddy Buchi we mo enen painful to 20 one more touch that boy and medicine shares some Quentin Sejao Refi Minio Kuma Kuchum Papai ne wolf pa and equesichum and inti and yak ejumana one time yakitia into no rest in Mexico and any brejuma or Juma Bruta fantastic evening and Kumano Dominic is here boy also a right hand man Eufia and I feel so a Philip or say Bunsu a POB or no happens to be the latest and the freshest programs writer and as manager at the ASEMPA 94.7 FM. Urabu and a general manager the Madam Class Tabi Pima, woman Nada and a Kumtiafa and home. This answers some Queen Ebro and then you may sell sports night. Myself and come on about also bed the Benny Cabenny and Intimodia Daco Facebook ASEMPA 94.7 FM. Catch it now for 4 bush your phone a adofo. So while I say Transia, yet this answers some Queen 8 years abroad you no one and Yama Asia Coso and they have the dead. Yes, sure, say was me or day and intimidating Comobrinan and I made it every way. Greetings from a mandated leave. Greetings from mandatory leave. It's Yami restaurant and Asia Co. Which media and also 18 Sabaso. And Maureen Fisher Carras in collaboration with Ghana Medical Association. Say Carras kills 99% of bacteria. Say yes to life. Almost actually padule you got. Or say more. I need more. And I feel a live soup, Mr. Soap that can save your life. Use it and also bet Sabwa Maniama Etian Quid amount. Magnan Shipping Company Limited phone paying for as your total logistic partners. Almost actually power and it is some creative Sejao. Petrol Sol.
ASEMPA FM.
Full quantity is always a delightful experience. And I feel so Holland Ghana, insurance company back your favorite insurance. We've got you covered. But more than that, so on Holland phone paying for between settings also. COVID-19 still Egusu 820 so we are safe and intimate transit here na me mau updates by way of COVID-19 say be between Sasha Husuye. Say Ronsa na afi so ya fasamana account under running water nso a etne gu hu ana afi so kwa no ya peso bo wabogu wabatwem ana afi so mfansa kekawanim afi so kwa no human distance entity entememra yedi nsa so wo bibi atrafie ni hwe nso atrafie we nyina between Sabo maniama etiansa to yedi amount ukọ wiase afa na COVID-19 United States of America for a total case no odu ani chiro makache a wo mo 4,835,120 and no total case etiansa PM United States of America new cases nko no 21,473 and also etiansa PM deaths owo and also ko nko so a 158,577 and afi new deaths owo from etiaba no 212 and afi so ko recoveries nko so a wo mo 2,389,712 active cases no 2,286,831 na afi so serious cases no 18,694 and cases United States of America. For a sad story, say Brazil, the powerhouse of world football. So Ginomana Sopa, so call Makacha, Utimisam Pento Ye from Commonwealth US for ASEMPA, India for the third, Russia for the fourth, South Africa, Nelson Mandela, so Ebusia for one Eda Fate, our Sanchez, so Logan Mexico for the sixth, Peru for the seventh, Chile Eda 8, Spain Eda 9th, and Athens, so Koma Reston Nema ACTA, Nessa Colombia for Eda 10th, Iran Eda 11th, UK for the 12th, Nafi Saudi Arabia the 13th, Pakistan Eda 14th, Italy Eda 15th, Bangladesh Eda 16th, Nafi Turkey for Eda 17th, Germany Eda 18th, Argentina Eda 19th, France Eda 20th,
ASEMPA FM.
Canada Eda 22nd, Indonesia Eda 23rd, Qatar Eda 24th, Philippines for Eda 25th, Egypt for the 26th, Nafi Pakistan Eda 27th, Ecuador 28th, Nafi China Omna Kofaya de by one share so 29th position Omoda CC and Nafi Sweden Eda 30th. Into the first 30 countries no one I don't know Obama, Bolivia, Oman, Israel, Ukraine, Dominican Republic, Belgium, Kuwait, Belarus, Panama, UAE, Netherlands, Romania, Singapore, Portugal, Guatemala, and after Poland, Nigeria, Honduras, and after Bahrain, and after Armenia, and then Ghana at the 51st position. I was Sanchez Chelsea Kuma Tim Sampa, and Yanika, a cancer coronavirus out in Sampa. Yadia no enyam free yeshe so a ewosena nhye AC ekoso awutmedia yegusu edino mesabo obiubion se on the 4th of August 2020 ana enei yede san komo kese etwen sabre no oba Ghana case count na hwema new cases enen kwane 798 ana etwen PM confirmed cases no 37,812 Ghana case na mebo ho amane no omo etwen sa tom no 34,313 active cases no 3,308 ana for deaths owo nkwa 109 ana etiensa pm we Ghana case count no ana medi age out no won na ACL call ye back cumulative cases per region dia na is a greater Accra region kwa e 19,320 na is a greater Accra the seat of government baby aban atran e wo na ohwese ne Mexico so all the fine medical practitioners doctors nurses awodo ni na no ha greater Accra ha na na fe so ba mu ahwese ne city a hospitals akese ne clinics ni na ha na wo ye yeguso e 19,320 Ashanti region e 9,454 and after Western region 2,697 Central region e 1,553 and after so obam ehwese na nhyɛ ne ACL kodia na is Eastern region e 1,483 Volta region e 609 na after so Western North region e 520 and after Bono East region e 511 after Bono
FM
Ukoma almost 439 Northern region 354 Upper East region was 282 a half hour 232 Oti region 199 Upper West region was 88 Savannah region was 62 and after Northeast region and so 9 coronavirus cases no send city and I don't come kakra etiense ja na busuafo enya nika nti ebesre se fisa bre kono bomodi ada so betiense di hihye betiense aboa emo etiense di nchine eso ye ka coronavirus na covid-19 ehun common mesel odwani chema WHO for say silver bullet to defeat coronavirus was for as and the bigger said director general the ma omutumedi omudugu so the offense Tadros also he said there might never be a silver bullet for the new coronavirus despite the rush to discover effective vaccine. More than 80 million people around the world have been diagnosed with the new coronavirus as on of Monday. Almost 11 million have recovered and more than 690,000 have died. And despite fears of the spread of coronavirus, no parliamentary elections will go ahead in Sri Lanka. And I feel so Wednesday. I mean, at the moment, the Pempem Super and I feel President there's almost President and any go tabaya or no any komo kraba so hope say on between 13 host no naboa ema nation no on politics so nya matian san kwedi among millions of COVID-19 tests no that works in 90 minutes will be rolled out in the UK when they share no so 20 pm the country's health minister and this san komo kese 20 beja cases nationwide no so pass 306,000 and only share no so 20 pm with more
ASEMPA
than
FM
and at 20 pm UK in COVID-19 we update if area afana nyina no ehon komo kakra no ana medi eja osebia won so betia sa bo ho ban maka chore da se ronsa ewon su a etnigu ase eya opeso bo wa bogu abatwem na afen so kwane fansa tank kan wanim isanse bia na surface bi ha wodon sana akoba bayare bi enti ene nam wanim no na ekọ hwemu fo asum na afen so kwa no oba bi ne tia sa akọ wadwene eno pa won so a human distance yentete ho ntem ana afen so trafie se wo bibia oni hwe so a trafie ni na ehyehyɛ so kokwa edi jaw ewo covid-19 komo a eno so at 20 pm to way by way of update the amount our COVID-19 hono and I made eja sebe anema ebetua sa koyi edi amount our twumedi a yegusu edimu nyame adoma nei nkomo no betua sa to aso ayete na ebe nika ebe nije ewo sena hyehye na ACL ko ho na okeke ni kirema na ejese uhwese na nema ACL ko so na teachers are protesting across the United States of America over reopening of schools. Teachers ne support staff no at more than 35 schools districts across the US no omo protested the reopening of schools whilst COVID-19 is surging in many parts of the country. Teacher for achechere for many abere power USO they are demanding in-person classes not to be held until scientific data support it and sana and for safety protocols no such as lower class sizes and then virus testing are established. Schools are staffed with adequate number of counselors and then nurses according to the website no and on the science so saba up for demonstration where teacher phone come on the United States of America ba teachers also demand financial help for parents in need including rent and after mortgage and after assistance and after so kwanomo hwenim se kwabia no nyama betia sa koyi foreclosures and then cash assistance and teacher phone no demand financial support on the parents and then kofa sebenya nyama koyi inform American Common now for Chief of Staff of Brazil also the
ASEMPA FM
Naru was tested positive no Brazilian president Eja and on this Sankumo Kesietian Saba Chief of Staff Army General and the water Suza Braga Netu Ono and this Sankumo Kesietian Saba was tested positive for COVID-19. The office no essay Western Mexico so the 7th Brazilian minister to have contracted the disease in the 7th year overhead as in Brazil for no Yachom Kra was in the Asia because we in the 7th minister or also any enemy. Now if Braga Netu is doing well and has no symptoms, the office said in a statement also he will remain in isolation until a new examination and medical evaluation is carried out and will continue to work remotely winning Kuma Omodiaba because I Juma Adani Chokra Brazil. Last week no Kuma Nayere and one of his ministers no also tested positive for COVID-19 into Minister and Janisi Kosa. There's a contrary disease no, but the latest test no it shows that he was no longer affected way and then Kuma and also PMU Air Brazil for Womo Esha so Honum. Yakoma no fancy so at teleshoppers so say Omo Esha max outside or pay fine. Winning Kuma no so PM Tinkasi or Ghana hey Senka France there Ura Uhesen Mexico so Ukotade Nasa went to Esha max Nidia wait to your fine into way Prime Minister of France and Dini Jian Air Casters no so IG people not to let down their guard in the fight against COVID-19 as one of France's biggest cities ordered people to wear masks outdoors in busy pedestrian streets. Winning Kuma Omodiaba. The virus is not on holiday. Virus no nyame adom ochina holiday there by virus no enko holiday there. Neither are we. Inti yesu enko holiday there. Casters na this Sankumo kese eja ne nkrofo o call Lil Motroport sheso no ma winning Kuma mo ediaba ohwema na say France police na omo ehwe nim se ene omne san sheso kunu beba inti omo hwe a levia omo betwen se tua no ohwema 135 euros which is about 158.4 dollars fine of anyone
ASEMPA FM
the rules are omo ediaba no France is share nim se kwa biaso no omo ehu se na Mexico so na patients are omo ICU unit no e betwen san hwem kama. France has said that the number of people in the intensive care unit no for COVID-19 no is standing at 384 compared to 371 on Friday. The second time in a week the figure no increase after say womo try say womo ebetwen san to aboama ne metia kwe dem for 16 weeks now no. In a statement no health authorities are reported to say 29 more deaths from the disease bringing the total of about 30,294 and at 10 p.m. US parent struggle school reopening amidst COVID-19 surge winning Kumaba. Oko Spain a report nature say 968 new cases at 10 p.m. total assist no 288,000. Spain has reported cases we almost share almost eguso editing time soon. Some COVID-19 who do any chema survivors no as over a psychiatric disorder. COVID-19 no unya utimi suffer psychiatric disorder. In terms of some COVID-19 patients almost suffer psychiatric disorder. Omonya adwene mu how kakra osana niema AC course Italian study no ana HS Italy for ana omo ASA studies we na Italy ana omo ASA studies we a omo de komo kakra etuansa ba COVID-19 survivors suffer higher rate of psychiatric disorder including post traumatic stress and anxiety, insomnia, any depression and some of what you can insomnia amafo timi na anajo according to the study conducted by San Rafael Hospital in Milan. There's always in the Mexico. There's a month for intimidation and sent him in Monia careful. I was in the Asia Cosono. The survey showed that more than half of the 402 patients monitored after being treated for the virus experienced at least one of these disorders in proportion to the severity of the inflammation during the disease. I was immediately clear that the inflammation caused by the disease could also have repercussions at the psychiatric level, said Professor Francisco Wayne Kuma Omoso Ediaba Elsina Shenisco. So based on the clinical interviews and then self-assessment questionnaires now Womo Edimine physicians say PTSDs in 28% cases depression is in 31%, anxiety in 42% of patients, and then insomnia in 40%, and finally obsessive compulsive symptoms in 20%. We need share and also etiansa by COVID-19 Italy for study some year no no so hese Mexico so amafo bi na omanya ade na mo atom no aso manya adwene mu hawo kakra wo mu entimi na ebi nso depression wo so ene ho nkoniaba nti wei ene hyehyɛ a ede aba no way for a suspended cruise ships no with more than 100 people on board wo mu dwumadi a omudim for disembarking at the port we ni hyehyɛ a wo mu enso ede aba no way as stop sa nhyehyɛ ni na wo mu dwumadi a wo mu so egusu edi mu nti wei ene nkomo ni bia etiansa ba Emra Africa the Gambia minister also tested positive for COVID-19. 3 cabinet ministers in Gambia have tested positive for COVID-19. The presidency has said winning Kuma Woma Ediaba anti President Adama Barrow and the Sankumo Kesietza Asaba anti also eco self-isolation for the next 2 weeks. The presidency said last week after Vice President and the Isatu Ture tested positive. No, now Finance Minister and the Mambre Inji and Afi Energy Minister the Fafa Sayanga and Afi Agric Minister and the Army Fubra Omina Woma infected by the virus. The presidency and the Sankomo Etin Asaba Edia Fascination ACL Kon we Nkuma enye enika kra COVID-19 hu me de COVID-19 komo no ebesia na masa komanim ba ne komo bi enenam kwan so eba enhyeda anya nika kra na nyina ne se Ghanaian footballers bi mo sa kopiem India na sa Ghanaian footballers no tim sampania man koye fa mom kra ni na
ASEMPA FM
ombe hia government support sena niam Asia course Ghanaian footballers wo mo don so makopiem England India na India hono niam koye fa mom kra na yebeni omba hwehwe na afia hwe ma tankasa ene sena niam sitie India ho India baby ebobo India na when na as a result of bad management Ghana ha football no manye ni emunye ni ya then ema players ni bebre na kwa Egypt very few players ni si account buchi Egyptian players no esi account mu kromo isan structures no Egyptian payroll for players no there math watering it's very difficult so bon say Egypt player aswa ne nema ni kuku ndikaka se okoba bi these are some of the standards I hwe nim say nke betian set we krom ha na aboa ema good na tian tumpon when you hear cases of our players friends talented players are stranded elsewhere it tells you say Western University niema nkosu ye we kroma no na ye problem no we hwe countries amafo ye tukotra another say amafo migrate ekope bibedi kosiki for greener pastures ni na as a result say country niema enkoye famom wan tu kwan a na say untimi kosiki for greener pastures so untimi form sebre enfa san show musem it we any how baako player exodus how baako a wo omanmu a business abrin ke hwe nim say Ghana Football Association for penfo ebetimi ahwe no ma solve and I think say sika kra ye chiche ne nkone aba no kra no nkomutimi trans de ho hyehye so nkomutimi san tudwa nkebetimi san boa one of the things and nkomutimi san ye and is to sit down with football people wo mo deserve sa amount ne mo some amount of the money na afi wo mutimi some of the amount no so no etimi investment edema clubs no and as a football for now kroma but then hwese na nema Asia course san hyehye nyame adoma ye be ko India na mabo India nso nkomo no kakra na afi I hear from the horses omaf say na nema Asia ko won hyehye awdo no so etiensa PM no technical director of the Ghana Football Association and they etete sempen for etia a constitute panel panel no ehwe nim say enche bia no won so ebetian nemu the technical director of the Ghana Football Association
ASEMPA FM
say as expatriate and as a foreigner and as a brony white and as a the ascendancy he's on the ascendancy in climbing the throne of the technical director of the Ghana Football Association into abrofono ekwa na kosro wasanjije sunkumu emi adoma a little bit of discussion yebekwa African countries no na afia hwe se omo de no send city structures na ekosen na afia hwe se yebetia emulate some of the good structures are some of the super powers of football in Africa wo matian put in place na se send city na se employ for bibia ho but the composition of even the committee wo mo trans to year interview fa ASA coach si se wo me tenka director na kwa no question mark se pa honyame adoma at the appropriate time when water take its rightful level ye de won komo kese no ebetian san jaw no wo se na nema Asia ko e wo san hyehye sunkum we are hearing say we minister na nema Asia ko so coach be friend say Shefa wono we Fred Shefa wono na mo hwa nim se kwa bia so no ye de ne ebeba ye bekom na afi ya hwe say we Fred Shefa o deserve Ghana Football Association technical director na apart from so ebroni no yempe no de da no kra no uhwe refresh fa ono obetia etenka director e de Ghana Football Association na we fero se kwakupama ne nkomo enso e wo kafo akache san nkomo ye e cast for akache na san nkomo e wo cast for yi ana ya hwe anima senka cast for wo mo de verdict meba ye wana cast for ebe yaso tese nyame adoma das mesi ana so bentin om de verdict ba obia nkasa cast for ho ye wa cast for date ne ba yo de mo asan wa mo se da bi date atwen asensen kakra nyame adoma nem se ochina ana omohwe nim se wo mo ede verdict no ebetua san ba se verdict no beba na asemba na emene ne nkrabe ne betua asan a kire e wo se na nema esi ekoso ba de no a me mount ya se justice delayed justice denied nti enye surprise ekoba se ohun se nema enwe ne se asesa what say adwen a wo de fa esa verdict ho hu se asesa ma bibia haw e wo se na nema esi ekoso esan se ma kire e case bibia
ASEMPA FM
trans ya over 10 no e wo mudwumadi a wo egusu edi mu nti ehwe nim se nyame adoma nyama ebetua san toto yi e wo san hye mu dia na ese wasem ebo ne po e wo edwumadi a yegusu edi mu eno a mekomu kakra e ma e kasa bakosem ne nti a wo mu ete e sa kasa beyokoi e wo mu hyehya ahodo a omu egusu edi mu mebo amu abakosem kakra ba me san kire wo se wo koma hwese ne mesi koso a owura bi efense e Diani Watson wo de nkomo kakra ba o se justice deferred is justice denied ana afenso kwa na Martin Luther King Jr. o se justice denied anywhere diminishes justice elsewhere, and I say everywhere. Justice denied anywhere diminishes justice everywhere. We Martin Luther King Jr. Then come on, and justice delayed is justice denied. We Enzo William Ye Gladstone, and also the sound come say by Robert Quentin Freddie Douglass. Also, where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them. Neither person nor property will be safe. We if Freddie Douglass then come or the buy home. We soon be jina and ra. Me bon komo kakra e chelse na cars and komo no. Nyama AC echo e home. Me sure say we are tilled by the historic antecedent. It means say pie mu e fa cars over 10 a lot of the rulings are na ebedi omakache e wo mu dwumadi a wo mu egusu edimu no. Na e be san to so a na e koso adomasuko. Nyama manfo ahu se na nyama esitie e wo san hyehye mpempi no. Na cars for womu etimi esande ba esanse okọ cars for na kacha wotimu sampa na sentem recent cases a omankasa mo de ba ebepio makacha na omu egusu di no womu se san yamam kra ewo omu dwumadi a womu egusu edi ne behwe se ensakra bi betia san ba mu ewo ha na amafo beka Manchester City versus Europa against etimi san pie mu February 2020 Manchester 4 and a lodge an appeal to cast against Europa decision to ban the club from European competitions for 2 years and to find
ASEMPA FM
Omufanium 30 million euros was for alleged breaches of financial fair play and a club licensing regulation. The ban was rescinded overturned by CAS on 13th July 2020 after the panel decided that the clubs did not discuss equity funding as sponsorship contributions. However, the clubs were fined 10 million euros for failing to cooperate with UEFA investigatory chamber in the first instance, which breached UEFA club licensing regulation. Winning Kuma cast from paying for a video on Casama Kachia, almost over 10 ruling. No, it's a day, Oman de cast, no, a way for a second Kupama versus Ghana Football Association, Esabaye, almost a de Bayana, and no more as an arbitrary say 10 to send Yamia Mochina, and no more verdict in the Ebitian Saba. Now, Ukoma, way for a second Kupama, and a tweet me or say, I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, I have kept the faith. We 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 and no dia tuja entimu say GH 442 tell the mu enso etro sa ekoti ho article 1010 na nya asem keto kra we fed or say kwakupama on the tweet no on the Twitter handle so or say I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, I have kept the faith. We 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 and then come on odiaba Court of Arbitration for Sports Cars Omo rule the verdict between Wilfred Osei Kwakupama and Ghana Football Association. Nyame adoma ochina anom de beba ba yewi mu ne chese na parties involved na nkasa de wo mo adimi communicate among the dada enti entimi hu say friends and Wilfred Osei Kwakupama 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 no inspiration from the verdict and saka no and odi we aba na inspiration from the verdict ne saka de da no and odi aba na ehwe mu no e che se sometimes no verity be ba nipa na verity form no o me di kind the moment tempa so e mo mu hu every form ne o kasa e church of sen ne ma city enti hu se ne tweet we no was inspired by nkomo etime sen pm no come me page no so a Twitter so abun sen ne ma city course so say
ASEMPA FM.
I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 and also 18 pm. Ura Ket Edwin Simon Okraku and the Ghana Football Association president. Na san komo yi and also Edna Dwenche 18 saton ono so ne kasa mu no utie ne kasa ne din a asa ono so verity no asa ono so ye na kasa da amo sen ne ma esia koso ana yentie wi
me dream da nyankopon be ma ho kwan na ya resume your football na che say wa dream enye na ma dream kra ye colleagues say na swag birthday me boy yeah and na ye ya jad we ye creating tension to say nyankopon Jesus Christ e ba ochina there I think say it is good for Ghana football. Junior Kweku felt say something went wrong, not decided to seek redress. It is his right to seek redress. See, we just have to leave him. Yami Aduma say cast ochina anything book to ochina. So let's all be patient and at the end football will be the ultimate winner. God is the greatest. Oh no, I think say very normal. The award to the two parties first, and then say parties decide say on be making it public is their prerogative. Or trying to say what a senior settle munya me reacted to Bibia Miniaka concerning this case. No, there's a case involving Orakweku and the GFA. Sekas Emmanuel Rulina GFA Bekasa and Yemi Racket. No, I'm very much focused on the repositioning agenda of Ghana football. Yenyaya go through a lot of troubles, and we know we need a lot of effort to bring back the love. That is my main focus. Let us not overly focus on case back home. There are a lot of issues that we have to discuss about. Don't forget, whichever way Ghana football will
ASEMPA FM.
We and Koma Ket Edwin Simon Okraku on wano ana ehwehwe san komo yi na o che ne se na nema esi ekoso we say okọ me page no so a at prof ek walas okọ me Twitter handle no so a obon se mare tweet wo follow se kwagu pama ne tweet no o say I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. We 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 King James version and ode eto no before then no na and I say after no and on 20 say reforming Ghana football we need come out about P for P was reforming Ghana football and then come wasan dia to say P for P reforming Ghana football and then sama ode to say the other tweet bi no to my Muslim brothers and sisters Allah guide you all P for P and then come wasan edeby enti we anyama in the last few days no uko ura we for seko pama ne we so a ne Twitter handle so a wodi atudwa honum the first one no fighting a good fight 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7 and then the other one to the Muslim brothers and another one also say reforming Ghana football and also wodi atu honum tiebere sana hye ne esia ko yenko asantemantem agudiem ensem ke bright yebo tell BYT e man so yemfa mugu ne fama ne briefly. Samke kangane yesi ake ube anche ana ene bright yebo atela BYT edeba be me no nyamfo mafeo ubrenie mienko
wale me so mafeo pa na okwe so papa Matthew sini Kobe Stones wa bo wati kama ma bibia enso de dem kama muso mu nice ama bibia de dem na wale
ASEMPA FM
asante mantama sere wadi ka buruburu bi so ano na se P for P and will be a very don't know in so say people camp and as members now more and so atani kutu be pemu kuma so ata and your offer baby yes it na eba na monte any ade kuma so for so interest we rule ni mu ye pa I will be also share ni mu wachina as a botu man agree dia will be ana and you guzwa na o show mail au FIFA link second bia so no benya ɛyɛ cast ruling ni bi announce watini akenkan nti enya yɛ twɛn na wala so be pemu oboase Asante Gold a isi am ga say as gold ani abre isi abrante ni din de ɛyɛ Richard Osadima na Geo commander obɛkai sɛ Agio call as gold be say 3 years ni ana sɛ antie mi nsani a isi am ka say as gold for say contract no enso atimi abawi o mo nhwɛ ma abrante ni dana ni nterekim bia say o ma extend the contract no for 3 more years at 2023 and Richard Osei Adjiman Agio commander Agio Kotokono ne the contract no so be we and so at Asante Gold and once one another Kumasi boy Bako and so a friend appear Makati and so free as a Deportivo e call club 4 years ni Abrante sweating Asompa so as good Bobo na what league Bako the 2017 league no na another Wamuji league no na say Onyanko Wamuji league na na omosan abrante na ono so didi mu a wabo 4 years enso so e wo club nim na say ameka say abrante fen say apia Makati enso so e de enfiem mienu enso aka nimfie nan a wadi kan asom enso e de ma good bobu 2022 na abrante fen say apia Makati enso contract with Asgold so e betimi aba na wiye enso e wo bepiem e wo Kumase so a na
ASEMPA FM
anu ada Saturday ene Kotoko WhatsApp group e fam so kumapem eso eya wonwasem kama ma bibia so timi ekwo so na ni nyina ne so omusu timi adoye e de mo former legends a nei omusu akwa infam kakam tie players a oma bo Kotoko boboku na omusu so enema mo edin enso dia mo be 10 players bi biti se wo so Kofi Abirek a wono ebo azaka to free heart ene ba Asante Kotoko abra na nyawo tama klode ni dika youth no ena afesu so no Dogo Moro Abukari Garba go na mapefe papa e pese ko kuminka Astan baby omu nyina no papa foa omu nyina asomo Kotoko including Nana Bechi a wono so Kotoko chief driver onu tukonya nkwansi niema enso enteran koyi empama no omu nyina enso so ebai ema bibia so etimi ekwo so kama ema bibia so ko so a enei bese nipa du ene etimi ebo mo abaso enso so wo abra ya disika som bese 2000 Ghana cedi it can 20 million shishie bi ansem kama ema bibia so etimi ekwo so e ba so Kumasi Cafe hotel a ko sia pia no mu wo ba for so Malija be no chief chapter Felixana from Kotoko omu nyina so etimi be bia Kotoko circle enso 2 empanyifo e de ba ya wa abra na chairman Solomon Kosu are mu nyina wo mu a omu so be ye boa dwumadi no with 5000 Ghana cedi ni ye de pa na bidu ye kwa no eze ameka say unse na wale wopie na me papa man shu kasa meka say meet bi be koso Kotoko be meet bi board no e won kan mu wi a weekend no beba mantia na omaba be hu chief of staff na mpukro mahwe say konbia so no enipa omode ne ba as Kotoko CEO no mun ka akote opinso na ni nyina ne say opinso and na players and na say board no enti amfa CEO ani dia de nana yaponsa mi bodi din e wo dima de anko tia ne nemom amede no chief of staff
ASEMPA FM
na ombete nka ne nyane se ono so ne nana be kwa akodi nkomensa se wono nu hu na so ka tere nana te se de nana e na ehu nipa kro no na se bibia de nana kompepepe e ta se kobiri ba yi akra enso so so obo nu aja kakra mpieze woni nipa ntam kita wo de mu atwe kakra fine enti chief of staff etimi esia ye ema obo no top ale tre opim so and it's 2 points to see the second Emma Bibia so to me so na okatre empanimfo Dr. K edia ni mute omonko no mbete ninka ena anopa no nkuru ya ena communicate no etie koye wa abra chief of staff friend board no e de tu omanim se ye your phone so kita wudi say papa no mde ne bae no granted enti dia ka ne se so man hwehwemu na se papa no ana omo pe no nko ade a mentia se eze wati ase do omo dia ba ena omo grant omo nti so omo de na ba dia ene o granted nti omo anga tanhwe na pe bibia ni hu bia mu a omo peda no omo mbeli no na bibia so nti menko so enti sesi a meka se de na me akonsa ene the only person ede ni wura mu mentia wo wura mu mentia obi ahu me but ye de to wati abu anu kasa bibia so sai weekend no obepie mu antie ema bibia so timi ko so a ene the ten say wo board no nsem se fritina eri ko bia no omo eni eyan ke kan wo bia wona na aponsa ho a omo yi na kire after example confirmation from official protocol team nankasa wono if you board na so e ban kana na yaponsa and the new CEO for the club and so on you am that there better 90% mensia grant to omo adiaka and it's a board no so be him na so omo yi na yaponsa and so etimi e di akyere and so na anopa no nkuru ya na mensia and so from chief of staff creative planina ono ewa hiti and so etimi di communication no and as a communication and so etimi ma board of directors of Asante Koto Committee
ASEMPA FM.
Papa wala.
Okay. We dey abo enkomo hwam. Baro ko na me se enkomo kakra em se me ko fie pie na me se o ma me mo ba se me ensa bi ana. Madam bi wo hu. Ana during me holidays yi wo hu. Ana yiri ye dina kakra ma ense enkodi wo hu. Nti yeguso didi na madam fnes o. No kwenya menim ne yire aduane ne de wanhye da hu so ase taste no ase tasteless ne bofka se be ka no no anti ofa wifi no se wifi else man hu nsa no ayi kra na aduane no me hu se na ne ma sitie wu na ba se enye problem bia ehu ya so ba na fa fon a wa frɛ COVID-19 hotline no waka champion for send advance lose ni taste or in a sense of taste into no omo me fa na content pass into me no ka say madam for no 14 days quarantine amo ehwe nim se nyame adoma opompo say we lose ni sense of taste into nko hu ya nko kana no tumu say aduane no di ne saa na sitie bia nti say no efutu amegyina mu e de ama efutu amegyina mu de ama mema nyina say na ko na aduane no say sitie bia ya no wadi ne saa nkasa bebre ne saa omo be frɛ COVID-19 team no amount no ma be found na odo ni etia sa kire mu ewofie ti we ni nkomo kakra eno so etia sa ba nkomo de bebre na ho but we ni ba kwa mpese me bo but ba ko bi so ho no so ehun ye pa na menyonko bi so ono so ni nafofo a oni omudi agro no esene no pornographic videos bi won ti video no e ba no o hye sebe toilet ana o hwe video no kode so hu na obie volume ni ma ano si oni obehwe video ni sa without the volume no so hu nti o hwe ya about best 15 minutes video o hwe ni na kama ni we no so ni phone no so na say ne nti a obie ni video na emba volume na emba ne say wa connect ni phone no
ASEMPA FM
family hot TV na si ho no nti say voice ni na no mpanyfo a ho ne papa no ne mama mu nyina mo hwe omo hwe video no ho no nti me no ka say 93 days na san so hwe to madam funi to gusu she toilet a onya mpie nti family no eguso ne video no omo so hwe ne video no se be a o beti arrest na nyama besi akodi man enti ni aba no e wasa na nyama esi ekoso nti no asem kese pa ana no so atua sa ba madam fo no eguso ehoro so fu panyi bi so abompa na sentem abompa kese pa very powerful prayers and my body ama one of the presidential aspirants and I say flag bearers ne ba ko ene na bedi ekira na sentem mo pa no ho abompa pa dia mo pa but ko ens of panyi no ni video no comment na se a ni aba ne se Daniel Akosa ode nkomo kakraba o se obompa de ma akrazo folk sometime ago e ma team no se nka ne man ko infamom ana o mo correlation nti o mo nya careful e wo sampa ye a enei wabo asade amom nti we ni nkomo a eno so air trend nkomo ba che se we ni nkomo no so nam krom kakra emre nti mebo mienu ipe nyame adoma o kina mesa bo nkomo mo why okay, it's bright. You want to tell her? Major was here. anche bright yebo atela BYT ana atene cancel dem komo no etimi efia santemantema goodiem ensem keka ebejan our sports night so we my first day at work in the weekdays no ana medicine says some creating saba na nko ba ku bia bakra no enika o enika Bernard omzi yeah man allow security officers no omo fa Ghana church uti so sa omo erase memory obi asomodi ava no e was na nema easy course so say owura supermarket say enka okoto bread and milk but opie no ato whiskey and red wine because of a winner am reach it so no Ghana the moment Ghana reach it so ma na adwan asesa kakra e won dwumadi a ono so eguso edimu but quickly yenko tenka diet ankomo no ana ye ni 8 san kire mu e one of the African countries so makache na journalist wo Cameroon and the any Leslie Angu and any ever drink. But Ghana share so that when him African tenant yepa and into and a numeri yet on Eddie afternoon. Leslie Angu, you're welcome once again, and you are live on ASEMPA 94.7 FM.
Yeah, good evening, my dear friend. It's obviously my pleasure to be on your platform. Hope that our little contribution this evening adds value to Ghanaian football and why not to African football in general.
I'm so gratified by your acceptance to be on this show. It's been a long while. Where have you been?
Well, I've been in Cameroon. You know, ASEMPA FM, when ASEMPA FM comes calling, I'm always available. It's one of the radios in Ghana that I've been privileged to be in your studios with Kobe Stone and the others. So I hold your institution in high esteem. I'm always here when you guys call.
Okay, we also hold you in high esteem. That's why we have called you based on the few works that we have monitored that you have done. Shows the amount of credibility that you possess as a journalist. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Okay, first of all, we wanted to know if Cameroon Football Federation has got a technical directorate, and that who is manning the technical directorate, and how is the situation like?
Well, this is the model in Cameroon for the last 10 years. I know the issue of interest in Ghana is, first of all, the nationality of who is the technical director. As many Ghanaians have as interest to have a compatriot in that position. In Cameroon, we've had a compatriot in that position for the last decade. That's after the disastrous World Cup campaign in South Africa. We had Cameroonians, 4 of them named in the the main men in the technical directorate. Remember, the technical directorate is a whole synergy of persons that it goes beyond the office. It even sometimes trickles down to even the footballers, because it's about shaping the philosophy of football in the country. But in Cameroon, we have 4 people who have led it in the last 10 years. We have Mr. Etienne Sonkeng. We have Jean Manga Ongene, former Cameroon international. We have Atta Robert. They've worked together with Jean-Paul Akono, who guided Cameroon to win the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. They've been in charge of it, with Mr. Sonkeng leading the quartet in most of their activities. And it's through them that the work has been done for the last 10 years. And their responsibility includes ensuring or supervising the different players that are called up to the national team coaches.
ASEMPA FM.
Through the coaches, that is to say, the coaches do their selections, they submit the list for supervision. They also supervise and recommend not just technical aspects, but even recommend players to the different national selections. So that has been the state of activities when it comes to the national technical directorate in Cameroon. 10 years and counting with Cameroonians in charge. That does not discard the fact that we've also had persons from other countries, or foreigners, if I have to call them so. But in my school of thought, there is no foreigner in football. We've had persons from other countries who have also occupied that role over the years. We've had a crucial contribution from the likes of Claude Marie Leroy over time. I think that those who are there today are Cameroonians, and they are continuing the job that others have done before they took responsibility or before they took office.
So how have these Cameroonians who are now manning the technical directorates of the Cameroonian Football Federation fared over the last 10 years, as you've just stated?
Well, their success is bold. It's visible it's there for all to see. Because in their time in office, we start with the senior men's national selection. The senior men's national selection has qualified for one of two World Cups. That's the World Cup of 2014. The senior men's selection have won the AFCON in 2017. We have the girls team that have qualified for back-to-back World Cup, which is the two and only World Cups in the country's history. We have the under-17. If I have to go back to the under-17 category for the men, the under-17 men's team have won the AFCON recently in Tanzania.
ASEMPA FM.
We have had the under-17 girls team that have qualified, that made their debut in the World Cup in 2016 and followed up in 2018 in that World Cup where Ghana and Abdullahi Mokurama did so well. We've also had in terms of performance at the level of our clubs. That's where we have huge regret, because in their time in office we've had back-to-back semi-final appearance for Cotton Sport of Garoua in the Champions League and Confederation Cup in 2013 and 2014 respectively. But we've not had the kind of success we had in 2000 under Pierre Lechamp. We've not had the kind of success we had in 2002 under Wilfried Schaefer. The realities are there. I'm sure that Cameroonians recognize their efforts. In fact, we're talking at a time when the second-tier coaches in the country are meeting with the National Technical Directorate in a refresher course, because last week all of the national team coaches and the top-tier coaches for a period of 5 days had multiple working sessions with the National Technical Directorate, and this week it's for the second-tier coaches. They are contributing their quota and ensuring that the growth of football in the country Cameroon is continuous. Okay.
Did I hear you mentioning Claude Roy?
Yes, Claude Leroy.
Okay. Yes.
You can't write the story of Cameroon football without Claude Leroy. It's going to have missing parts of the puzzle. You just can't, because when you look at Ghanaian greats, if you knock the doors of Ghanaian greats like the Salah Mensah and the Kofi Abre, you go to Liberia, you knock the doors of George Opongweya.
ASEMPA FM.
Different Tata, the legendary Cameroonian captain who died recently. They can't tell the story of Cameroon football without Claude Leroy. It's just impossible. Leroy is the man who masterminded Weah's move from Tonnerre Canada Club, where he was teammate with Kofi Abre and Salah Mensah, to AS Monaco. He built that generation of Cameroon players who went on to win back-to-back AFCON in 2000 and in 2002. He scouted a good number of the players in the 90s. So I think Claude Leroy has been very, very involved, and there's just no way to discard him when talking Cameroon football.
So why was he sent away from the technical directorate?
Well, everything in life has a beginning and an end. You don't expect Claude, especially in football. You don't expect Claude Leroy to be there forever. You agree with me that there have been some great coaches who've been at the helm of the Black Stars of Ghana, but they are not there today. The likes of Milov and Rajevac. If you look at the job Rajevac did for Ghana, one will ask the same question: that why is he not there today? It's football. You have to chop and change over time. Sometimes the changes in Africa are unnecessary changes for the sake of change, without real purpose. But I think Leroy contributed his quota, and he left Cameroon when it was time for him to leave. Though he is no longer the coach of Cameroon or no longer directly attached to the country. Last year in Egypt, he told reporters who were there in one of our interviews that he would love to retire in Cameroon. So he is still attached somehow. He is still attached to Cameroonian football.
Okay. Do you have a rough idea of the people who are working in the Tenka Directorate Secretariat of the Cameroon Football Federation?
ASEMPA FM.
Hello, Leslie.
Hello?
Yeah, Leslie.
Yes, I can get you. You put your question again, please.
Yeah, I was asking that, do you have any idea of the number of people who are working in the Tenka Directorate under the current administrators of the Directorate?
Everybody who is heading the national selections in Cameroon, all of our 11 national selections, is accountable to them. Everybody who is coaching top tier and second tier football in the country, that's top tier with the 20 clubs from next season, second tier with the 15 clubs from next season, are accountable and related to the National Technical Directorate somehow. You remember I said earlier in my submission that they are currently having working session with the second tier coaches. Everybody who is involved in women's football at club level is related to the National Technical Directorate. And sometimes their role even go to the extent of working with the coordination units of the Cameroon national selection to bring players on board, bi-national players, players of the stance of Kevin, Prince Boateng, or players of the stance of Kwesi Appiah, players who are either born in other countries or who either have quasi Cameroon nationality. They go that far to ensure that they put all the parts and pieces together to bring success, not just success, but sustained success to the club and national teams of Cameroon. I'm disappointed at the fact that they are more focused on the national selections for obvious reasons, because of the exposure. But I think that it's one thing that has really created, huge inquest about their time in office, and these days
ASEMPA FM.
from their actions in the build-up to the new season anticipated to kick off in October, that they want to be more involved in club football. Remember, in the yesteryears, before the arrival of this current National Technical Directorate, in 2009, when Cotton Sport of Garoua played the final of the Champions League against Al Ahly, those who were at the National Technical Directorate, some of them being Cameroonians then, used to be commissioned to work with the clubs. Some of them used to be commissioned to work with the clubs. So being in the National Technical Directorate had to go beyond working with the national team. If a club is representing the country, they were mandated to go up there, see what the club is doing in terms of coaching, in terms of preparation, and participate technically to ensure that the club is apt to better represent the country. And that's the reason why you saw in the 80s Cameroonian clubs were so good, because in those days, those in the National Technical Directorate plus the national team coaches had a clause in their employment contract that mandated them to be more involved in clubs that represent the country than it is the case today.
Okay. Can you recall how the current Tenka director was appointed?
He was, like I said earlier, he was appointed after the debacle of South Africa 2010, after the dismal World Cup where Cameroon lost all 3 games and came back home. The Lions came back home with their tails between their legs. After then, there was mass overhaul at the level of the technical and administrative staff of the national team, and they took office. They've been there for the last 10 years. We've counted their successes. Going by Cameroon's reputation, it could have been more, but man proposes and God has the final say.
ASEMPA FM.
Okay, did Cameroon also form a panel to select a number of people who thought they are competent to handle that position?
Well, we always have a panel in most of the appointments. It's always done by a panel. It's never done by an individual. So it wasn't different with appointing those who are heading the National Technical Directorate these days. In fact, when you brought this topic to me, I had to consult one of the top flight, one of the most experienced top flight coaches in the country, Coach Martin Kabiu, and he was full of praises for Mr. Sonkeng and his team. In fact, I want to coil one of his phrases in reacting about this topic. He told me in recent times, Sonkeng Etienne has done a Herculean job, honestly. Those are the words of Martin Kadio. He's currently the coach of Young Sports Academy of Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon, and he's been in this business of coaching since he came back from Germany in 2004. So if he says so about the contribution of the National Technical Directorate, it tells you that they've been doing lots and lots for the growth of Cameroon football. Obviously, Ghana has not won the AFCON in the last 30 years, not because the country has not invested in winning the AFCON or hasn't had sufficient quality in winning the AFCON. Football works in different ways. It's not like exact science where inputs give outputs. The same inputs give the same output if you try it here and there. In football, you can give the same input like your neighbor, but your neighbor succeeds, and God asks you to be more patient for your own success. So it's been a good time with these guys around the national thing.
ASEMPA FM.
And mind you, I want to go back to this. I don't know if it may be polemiking. It's not their contribution hasn't been because they are Cameroonians. Their contribution has been because they are technically gifted to contribute to the growth of football in the responsibility they have been handed. So I go into the subject matter in Ghana these days, and if I'm privileged to advise through your platform, I think such responsibilities should be given to people on the basis of their competence and nothing else.
Okay. We are hearing that Winfred Anton Schäfer, who turned 70 years on the 10th of January this year, I understand that he played 403 Bundesliga matches and scored 46 goals in West Germany Top Flight League. He won the 1970 Bundesliga title and the 1970 DFB Pokal with two different clubs. He has got some stint with Cameroon. Are you familiar with him?
Great coach. We call him the engineer here. Great gaffer he was. He metamorphosed football philosophy in Cameroon. It is in his era that we played 2-2 in 2000 and in 2001 against England, and it was a disappointing result. England came from behind to salvage a draw against Cameroon, and we're all disappointed. He is the man, and the only man till date for the 5 AFCONs we've won. He is the gaffer who organized the Cameroon team well enough to go into an AFCON tournament, win
ASEMPA FM
without conceding a goal. He was the man in charge in 2002 in Mali when Cameroon smashed opponents for funds, the likes of Senegal and Mali, beating Senegal in the final on post-match penalty. A great Senegal team that will go on to reach the quarterfinals of the World Cup, remember, in 2002. The Senegal team with Omar Dav, Aliou Cissé, Khalidou Fadiga, El Hadj Diop, and you name them. He was the man that was in charge then, leading the likes of Patrick Bowman, Samuel Eto'o, Solomon Olembe, to help Cameroon clinch their 4th AFCON title. It will take us 15 years to get another. The only downside of his time in Cameroon is the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan, where Cameroon was able to win a game but failed to make it out of a group that included Ireland and Germany. Remember the controversial game with multiple red cards against Germany in that World Cup. But I think the failure of the Cameroon team wasn't down in that World Cup particularly, wasn't down to Schäfer. Lots of those who were in that Cameroon team have come out to testify that wrangling issues about match bonuses in the build-up to the World Cup marred the team's performance in the tournament. And I think that he formed a wonderful Cameroon team in 2002. As if my words are not good enough to qualify it, Arsenal legend Laurent Etame is on record to have said the Cameroon team of 2002 was a better team than the invisible Arsenal team that won the Premier League under Arsene Wenger. So you can imagine the kind of team he built for Cameroon in his time. I think Wilfried Schaefer is a name that anybody who's been in Cameroon football
ASEMPA FM
in the last 2 decades doesn't need to be told about. He is a great man here. He is in the long list of great coaches that have been in charge of the Indomitable Lions. Rade, Schaefer, Hugo, Pierre Lecham, Claude Leroy. I mean, he can be amongst the top 10 managers that the Cameroon national selection has known in their time in different international competitions.
Okay. Was he the one who developed Samuel Otofils?
Well, his contribution cannot be overlooked. He played a major role. If a time made such comments, it means he was very much involved. He came at a time when it's always very, very difficult. It's always very, very difficult to manage a Cameroon team that goes into an AFCON tournament as the defending champions. In fact, he's on our record books as the only Cameroon team or as the only Cameroon coach to have guided a defending champion or a Cameroon team that's defending champions in an AFCON to retaining the crown. Remember, we won in '84, but lost on penalty shootouts in '86, thereby failing to defend the crown. We won in '88 and had an AFCON to forget in '90. We won in 2000 under Pierre Lecham, and he came and helped us defend that crown in 2002. We won in 2017, and you know the story under Coach Clarence Seedorf in 2019 in Egypt. So he is the only man that have won the AFCON without conceding for Cameroon. That Cameroon team is just one of just 2 teams in Africa at Ivory Coast of 1992 is the only order that won the full version of the AFCON without conceding, and he is the only man to have
ASEMPA FM
to defending their crown in the AFCON. I think his records here speak volume about his contribution to Cameroon football.
Leslie Angu, a great African journalist with a lot of, wonderful analytical antics. I really admire you a lot. Thank you very much for spending part of your time with us this evening. We'll get back to you when the need arrives.
It's been my pleasure. We are talking at a time when the world football is sitting in, when world football is dangerously calm, going by what's happening at FIFA. We are hoping for serenity to return, and why not continuously enhance the growth of this game through our little contribution. I want to use this opportunity to call on Ghanaians to rally behind the coach, behind Coach Siki Akono, because there is nobody that can contribute in Ghana winning the AFCON than the person that is in charge of the team. So whenever someone is in charge of the team, like Siki Akono is in charge now, Ghanaians need to come on board, because the only way, I'm talking as someone who has been around when his country wins the AFCON, and I know what it entails. The only way for a country to win this coveted title is to have compatriots assemble behind whoever is in charge of the team in competition's moment. You can have your issues with him. You may not like him as a man, but when he's in charge of the team, whoever is in charge, like Akono is now, you have to rally behind him for the interest of the country's football. I want to use your platform as another platform to make this clarion call. I'm privileged to have had this platform, and I'm sure that by some support from God, we have been able to make some
ASEMPA FM
to grow football in Ghana, and why not football in Africa. I am calling on the Ghanaian public to be patient. Someday, maybe in Cameroon in 2021, someday I'm sure that Ghana is going to be great again when it comes to winning the AFCON. I am Angu Leslie, just in case your listeners forgot. I hope it's been a satisfactory time. Those who have not had enough can catch me on Twitter as Leslie Angu, or you follow more on www.kick442.com for some of the works we are doing to enhance the growth of the beautiful game in this continent.
Thank you very much once again, Leslie Angu.
And congratulations to your brother, Noel Adams, for his recent ranking amongst the best sports journalists on the continent.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Leslie Angu, I Cameroonian journalist and artist, and then a couple of voices. I'm in Nadao, and I audience Chimbrina, Etiaba, a faster than Yama AC, Korea, Cameroon for starches, no, Sena AC Air Cornum, Yanity, say, Wilfred Anton Schiffer. Ono anebe ku champion for nyamiadoma that bia omo edene beba na imota kwa beja kwa champion trans briefly before ye kind of races no on church say briefly infama wonso awutie no na me hu obi atro citizen Wallace we nkoma obi edi aba fantastic evening nkoma me visa malo bia obi a mo hye eye family no especially your mother spirit recovery or baby bia obia nti imo yenkwe.
Well, Prof. Leslie, I can send be a interview echo muna say about tough and some no cano ebini no person say call Cameroon mom tenka director to of be brina na be dia kwatia for obi say cry wa munyina no aba be kire omobobre ho na mo be mfidu echi anase mfidu emuni de Cameroon funa na omahwe ama bibia ewie pe na sa 10 years ni emu no omo abom homodin e wo club level
ASEMPA FM
national team level so omodin bono akosru ye papa for example cotton sport garoa omo abom homodin du baby kura no na wo say Confederations Cup no omo ni Ali e de hihye so ni nyina be ka sa game no emu din ye papa e wa bra cotton sport eni Ali e de hihye so e wo sa final no na osamba o tenka direction hodoma purchase tenka direction oba na mo so bom homodin ye pa ahwe se Cameroon team no ome emu ayetin players a emfi Cameroon na se players efi Cameroon mo wa ada amanso no omahwe de omaba nto de kwasi apia kwa example say players bi say Kevin Prince Boateng ni kwasi apia ni other players omo ka homba Ghana na Cameroon funso etimi ayebi omo sa ka omo no sa beboa ama team no so no etimi akoso nti osan koso ama prof bi say currently no omo setup no te saying no so from 2010 amko South Africa no World Cup na Cameroon modern bono ebe ko 3 matches ni na mulusu e group stage no eno ema mpenfum so we mo dane nyemani kakra ema mo befa Cameroon fu no na Cameroon fu mo wo sesia no na modern bono so ni pa no use word competency say omo enye so mo wo keke so mo Cameroon fu na mo omo enyuma no munim efa coaching na se tenka direction ho no e wonanim ye papa enti na omo na edu baby krampo na sa coaches na so mo tenka da yuchi to no timi ka clubs no ho e ma clubs no kura etimi ekọ nti no de we cotton sports an example say in 2009 na money Cameroon cotton sport ni Ali ebo Confederations Cup no final no enyina no na tenka direction wo ana tenka da yuchi to no mpanyimfo bi wo a omoka clubs no na national team adwuma nko no mo ye na club adwuma nyina no timi ewo ho na ba na bebisa na fa wonfre Sheva no ono kan so Sheva ni the great coach coach bi akwa Cameroon wa ni din ahyeta obebia ewo Cameroon mo heavy coach
ASEMPA FM
coach 2002 no odi Cameroon enim edi ewuni AFCON no say Ghana Nigeria 2000 Cameroon ewuni 2002 no almost an indomitable Lions of Cameroon no bo mumbadin Telangas Lions of Senegal obeka 2002 na Senegal ko je din pa e Korea Japan no na Cameroon timisha ne so ya de su mboma mo eni Samuel Eto'o mo jom na so ma penalty no mo hye na sa 2002 no sa nyama na Cameroon mo ye ne kura no na Cameroon bi nsi da Cameroon ewuni AFCON bi o ntimi end defend mo je film sem sa previous two no mo wuni nya mo je na mo je film so na san guide omo obi a ntimi a show mo throughout the tournament no emu na otimi se na Ivory Coast pempo na aye bi da 1992 no Ivory Coast pe ene ye bi omutimi kwa na obi a ntimi a show mo wuni trophy no na Cameroon so ebe be ye bi eto so menu o Africa na ko Cameroon a coach a wetimi abo Cameroon ho ban a mo abo tournament obi a show mo no sa coach no inti coach ni uko Cameroon ko coaches maku dua coach na kan na coach no o heavy papa so the only coach a odi Cameroon mani mo wuni trophy Cameroon e bona baso ye pa sa coach na ye kan no ho asem no ono san e di ba betwa to class Cameroon ni mo na mo no betimi aka e dey magana say sika kono defense bi obi ani ni obi ano tournament edu pa en fa defense nyina nko to baby eh den
and the only you come at 17 e kwa fa so de buy ni tia na asamafo only you come at 17
it is a ball top far na item you no kan it is to assume ye pa o say competency say obi a de be man na say ni competency high sense Cameroon o mo competency ni e high anything so sa obroni coach ya na ye kan ho asem no e Winifred Sheva o say o heavy coach pa o Cameroon ma o to 10 say 10 coaches no we 10 coaches are
ASEMPA FM
nim ye pa crowd one manara coach say kan wa sa coach e kan ho a o heavy pa
unim say o one of the best interpreters we asima unim sa unim sa I don't call anybody for just calling say me friend be but as why proactive so we proactive send why out friends in the subsequent years and the coming years are on near my
say miracle fast
why are they why are they
so who know
I really appreciate that why are they what why are they say me why are they make one nya dey so make air fan sa asesanyama why na enfan kwe what dia be boko why are they me bo abaso what good interpretation from immortal Kwame Jakwe Champion ekwapem ne tamu I'm sure say nyame adoma rehearsal na nyama is here cause varieties for the spice of life intina me my immortal ebe cheche mu nyese bofo no mitimi san cheche mu and me go find interpreter bi de ne kwasoro me ko picha me do be ko ati na makoye ya interpreter no bo me fam oh
o me nyes ka so de ne
me kind of you say and it became very difficult for the needle to pass through the camel's eye so baby adu di idea ma pane aside dia ma fuponko and it yen ya for twa to ne so san kono se da bi nyesa na me pa kire it ya adu rest na me siko yenko one Ghanaian player bi Daniel Kufu at saying
Professor Ike Wala.
Oh, okay. Daniel Akufu. Oh, Obo house one.
The Bacho and the Black Class of Folk Ebon New Edibiati.
But does he?
The Bacho and Black Class of Folk Ebon New Edibiati.
Obo house of folk now about liberty so.
New
Edibiasi. Oh, okay. New Edibiasi Football Club. Now is it way?
Nyamiando me wo India to see and no.
India.
Bacho.
One they call.
Well, a club and I invite me by and a club.
ASEMPA FM.
Nyamiado me by no. You be at the cross of fine. Me by last 2 years. See, still now me new more our contract better than that. Me that's why.
See, a club.
Me hear Juma as a coach.
We are Juma as coach.
Me pacha why.
We are coaching course that be.
Me Asian license no Myanmar. Me bought time na me ko Myanmar no na me nya opportunity na me yes across.
Kenti Daniel Akufu former class of player, former New Edibiasi player. I'm say how squad them dey call you.
One na me ko class of one kasa.
Me kai fa. I'm so transfer no you know. Hey mama dey place me once we are you na any man hu ana.
And no current say that time na me frɛ wa na o ka che me say why you busy you know that friend back now I did now I just accepted it like that.
Okay, so, that was here Ben.
Me see Accra House of Folk 2011. Me signing my Accra House of Folk 2008. Me bought 2009, 2010, 2011 season. No, me call loan on our new Edibiase. Okay. Francis Bossman mo and James Nano mo.
Okay. Daniel Akufu. We play a pano no. Play a pano. Na my sister I wedding. Tina say me kohwe na me the late Kofi Apia. My sister na wedding no Kufodia. Na me jan ho ka but oje transfer film me honi biom. Ene say ne ne kasa yi. Nti India boy enkomo aka de na esi honom. Bibia kama ho.
Nyamia de bibia hye na nye kama sa mini side bi ene metuna ka say nyamia de mini side bi mini problem na mom Ghanaian players bi o moye stranded wa ha no na ha me pa
ASEMPA FM
very very stranded.
Ghanaian players na stranded.
O moye stranded ma me ni o ka say see akura for more than 15
ain't mean to your house rent my year or you two more for your demo. Me no kase kwa magic be abet na me my apartment.
Oh, I don't know what to mean to your rent.
Almost mean to your rent because time no mobile and that season no ever started. And Asians no so no almost mentality different from other countries no. Almost I know other sign contract. Almost sign 1 year contract. Now one year contract no I'm no be sign no. Almost sign 1 year contract na contract na expire. Almost no need the BIA bill. Na eba no sa no mobile no na yare no so de ho abegin. Almost sign mo kon bi wo almost sign mo contract. Back 1.5 months and I are rendering who Jim to league
ASEMPA FM.
And Koso. In the clubs, maybe Brinani players no co agreement, Momo and the two contract ma. Come almost more compensations, kakra. Then most are compensations, you more within 5-6 months, and one or the two or more range, or mudi. Yeah, you know, so me and one or more. In time, my boys, me, Professor Wallace, I mean, okay, say more than 300 Ghanaian boys or more within India and Kwampono. Many states, and Kwampono, just around 70 boys.
Hey,
Omoye stranded.
Omoye place, Omajidin Kakao Ghana, son of Moko.
Students no cry for me. Say a man for sure moon framing. I'm say moon framing, me near day. No, monsieur, member Modina. Me and Yankupon Yaduma, which me about lamplight Mukachana, Ebia, which me Ekasaka cra, and the quite shame a man for Ababua. Because almost break.
ASEMPA FM.
Inti, Omo Ufio.
Yes, almost my apartment. Well, yeah, apartment, a club apartment. I almost keep the local players no, but I was opposite. You see, Mama, the president, no, I'm more dime or moving now.
See, the only bit I am home.
The see, I don't know why I say, or Muniani say, I Ghana buying any and paying for more Ghana, any Jeff and paying for a more than normal more because boys, I was say, I'm they are all fighting some person best. Because at the end, standing now, no more the Dabontin, police and dressy, I mean, okay, say, police friendly. Every time say, me and your coach, I put me say, I now must say, boy, this is me, say, I'm saying, me, no, me, koya, boy, be a no Martina, me, who be in our ball, Martina, that. Why are stranded, who put on a bag, age now, Bontima police are channel.
Okay.
Now stranded, only baby that.
Inti ebi ofiozi a
me no ka say back aba me ha se see but ono no ni chini shada nye o kada gomba ene brofo.
Oh, okay. Kada gomba ene brofo de ene ochina. Why? Ochina ne be kasa china. Why?
Yeah.
Anti dan akufu e beda wase nyame adoma em se wakasa yi aban so ate ene mpemfo a omuso ewukruma no ate se Ghana de hye we se ba kuko ina nchen kwada goma kasa no kanti da goma for this year no represent Ghana India ana makoka kwantu bo kakra mko boy na COVID-19 omaka kwantu we na bibi ho no ma ASEMPA for ya yetia intimidas nyame adoma be san ba ho bi why
no for so much
okay ti Daniel Akufu former class of player former new DBS player now a coach or kita Asian license and ode adwuma ewo India share so oton. And I don't go bitters.
ASEMPA FM.
The authentic herbal bitters, and I'm doing what I said about myself. And some back on my bit can gapoha, Nasta, when no one can go Sudan yada, Abraham Bruta, and send Musu at the Buama to meet TBD. Oh, loss of appetite, if you cry, and you'll be dear, your man or new money in the idea, pay some amount of crabber. I go to herbal hospital, a hospital, a bit in sharp wow. So when your virus, maybe I'll call Michelle, come out. I'm a Yama 18 to 2 years, Madama. Woman attach the Buama and you so at the sports night. May come back edition, no, 8 me essay job. My was a message in the Braba, a D nothing so Abdullah Aziz Lai, and I feel Kofi the boy Ghana, also welcome back, bro. Christopher Abane Akalega, or no so the Nidiaba, and I feel so George, and so the nearby message in the dorsum. Oh, Abusia, Yamiadoma, watching a magic break, marking count messages in a Quaban Seminole, many are so in Madame Fuquesi Ganzamo, and your making count now, and I feel so Benedict. Ochre yeboa ono so ye giant former student no ono so de dia ba samo fu yata Fidelity Bank no ono so de dia ba chese nkofo de messages aba no enye messages ketwa nuru bremen so ono so de aduane bre ne nuru bremen so enya sam ketwa kra de aduane bre na kobi che aduane no e de man panyifo a wo fi ha na yen kwalande wa maye ebi nyame adoma e be fa ho adwene e wo ho ntino mi besia na madawase ye ko burning issues na ye de nkoma wodo a abani na so e wo political world no enso etia sa to so mafo be kansa na be sha ase no na e flip osebunsu programs manager, the current and the newest and the freshest programs manager for ASEMPA FM. No, na dia kusi send the team nearby. Inti mama the political side, the current affairs side, ni mwe de where Abdul Aziz Haruna Futa and then call for veterans and commander de. Call Benny issues so na fi here send the message cause watch your Benny issue na Benny so fire. Burning issues. Nyame adoma obede. Ghana for kojo besa transfer channel pa na the ultimate sports money show yede ni aka nyina so etia santo so. Ye wa say o kan dwumadi prof. Sorry so.